A term can be defined by the type of variable that is present as well as the exponent of the variable. Okay. The algebra tiles dealt with just x as a variable, and the maximum exponent was 2. Okay, we would do x squared. Okay. Higher exponents can be used to create new terms. So using examples, we can think of things like x cubed, okay, x to the fourth, x to the fifth. All of those are okay using terms, okay, as long as, again, we have that. We can also use different letters, so we could use like y cubed, or we could use a squared, or something like that. We could definitely use different variables as well. Now, multiple variables can also be used to describe terms as well. Each variable could represent a different value, and so they are considered different terms. So if we have something like, let's say we have an x and a y, those are different terms. Okay, those are not the same term, even though they have the same exponent. Okay, they are different terms. We could also think of like an x and an a, again, different terms, as they are different variables. We could start putting these ones together as well. Okay, so we could have something like xy, x times y. That is different from x or from y. Or we could have x squared y or xy cubed. Any one of those are different terms, okay? And we can put as many of them as we want together. They are all just different variables. So, a polynomial can be described by the number of terms, okay, it has. Some polynomials have a very specific name, okay, based on the number of terms. And we're going to go through 3 of those. There are 3 really specific ones, and then everything else is just a little bit more basic. So a polynomial which has only one term is called a monomial. Okay, a monomial. So this would be something like x, or it could be something like negative 4x squared. That's another one. Or it could be referred to as 7. There we go. There is another one-term monomial. So you'll notice that even just a regular number can be considered a polynomial. It's just a one-term polynomial. Polynomials with 2 terms are called a binomial. Okay, it's a binomial. It means it has 2 terms. Mono means 1, bi means 2. Okay, so these would be 2 terms. So this could be something like 4x minus 3. Or it could be something like 8x squared plus 2x. Or it could be something like negative 4x cubed plus 2. There we go. Okay, those are all examples of binomials. They have 2 terms in them. They have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 terms. The final kind of specific one that we're going to take a look at is, you might be able to guess it here, is a polynomial with 3 terms, and we call this a trinomial. Okay, tri being the word for 3. Okay, think of other tris, tricycle. Okay, there's 3 of them. Trinomial, 3 terms, so you can think of it that way. Some examples, so we could have something like x squared plus 2x plus 1. There you go. That would be a trinomial, 3 terms, okay, in there. Or we could have negative 3y minus 4y squared plus 6, or something like that. Okay, that's a trinomial. There are 3 terms to it. Okay. So those are some of the more specific ones. Other polynomials can just be listed using the number of terms. Okay, and we'll get to an example of that in just a little bit. So let's describe each polynomial based on the number of terms. The very first one that we have here, there are two terms, 5x squared and positive 5. This is a binomial. Okay, and on your assignment, when I ask you to do that, write out binomial. Don't just say b, because b is a nice letter. Unless you've defined what b is earlier on, please write out the entire word. One term right here. Okay, so just one term, 2x. This is a monomial. And same thing for monomial and trinomial. Make sure we write out the entire thing. The last one, you'll notice here we have multiple terms. So we have one term there. This is second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. This is a 5-term polynomial. And that is how we define it. It is a 5-term polynomial. Okay? We don't have a specific name for a 5-term polynomial. Maybe you want to call it a pentanomial. Could maybe call it that. But we just call it a 5-term polynomial as there are 5 terms in it. And so that's what we would call it. Questions 6 and 7, please complete those. That will complete the entire assignment. Make sure that all 7 questions are finished on your assignment and then hand it in.